So welcome to Challenge the Road. You've seen the drone footage. We had a fantastic event at Bewl Water. There's a few thank yous first for that event. Obviously Martin from Studio F, he done a lot of film work, and the drone footage looked amazing, and especially ones of seeing the P1 as well when that come out. Harrison at VVS, huge thank you to him for arranging it. They got quite a lot of cars there at VVS, I think about 10, and we especially like the 911 Speedster. Southeast Super Club, they really helped us. They got us probably 30 cars, which was a great effort considering the rain. Logic, they come over with the purple STO, same purple as our STO, and they had a GT4 RS, and actually we had two GT4 RS. It's quite a rare car, hugely over list at the moment in price. Car Guys TV, really pleased to see a Pista Spider, actually never seen one before, great colour, great spec. Race Room, huge help from Dan on the Saturday, brought the sim over, made that fantastic area in the marquee. Sam, Supercars of Kent, he helped direct you all, get you all in place, making for great photos for everyone. And all the other photographers that helped on the day, really big thank you to you guys. So arranging these events obviously takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. There's a lot of behind the scenes people. So we had Calvin, John, Dan, Lucy, all helping on that, which was great. But when we had the event, obviously had this huge amount of rain and we were really concerned, but actually we had loads of people turn up, lots of people, and I've had lots of messages afterwards saying how good it was. So we've got 2 more dates for next year. I won't reveal them now, but we will go through them in probably January, so you've got plenty of time to come along. But the big thing from the day was trying to make it sort of really relaxed, everyone have a good time. I think that the sim was a big thing, and especially with it being indoors, I think everyone really enjoyed that. We had queues of people lining up, which was fantastic. And then we had, for me, the Mitsubishi, which I hadn't seen, the RS, that arrived as well. And then obviously the change of colour for the P1. So let's go through those 2 cars. So the Mitsubishi Tommy Mackinnon. I wanted a Tommy Mackinnon. I sold one in lockdown. Obviously the wrong decision now, like everything. All the cars have gone up in value. And I was searching for another one, and I was actually offered a Tommy Mackinnon RS, which in fairness, I didn't know enough about. I researched that. It was actually built for Group N, even though it's a road car. Only 200 produced, but a lot of them went into rallying. So we expect that the numbers are probably under 100, and very low numbers in the UK, but also very difficult to get a good one. A lot of them rust, as you know, with Mitsubishis. So I ended up doing the deal, Tommy Mackinnon RS in white, quite high miles actually for me, 58,000 miles, but I wanted to drive it. I thought I'm going to drive the cars. The problem I've had is that a lot of the cars we've bought, I mean, it's not a bad problem, but they keep going up in value and make you feel that you don't want to drive them. And if you look at the situation with 22Bs, the last 22B I sold was £23,000 and it had 7,000 miles. Now you're looking at these cars being valued north of 300,000 plus. Obviously we sold a higher mileage one for the 225 on collecting cars. But I wanted a car I could drive, and with the Tommy Mackinnon I can do that. And I've been out in it quite a few times now. I'll do a review on that, but it surpassed the Subarus in feel. Suspension on it's fantastic because it's got Öhlins, but I'll go through that in a later video. But this Tommy Mackinnon is making a huge impression on me. So the second car I had was the P1. Now, as you know, it was yellow. There was the opportunity to buy a carbon purple, one of one, like a body kit really, but it is a full body. So what happened was I read the advert and I assumed it was a purple P1 for sale, but right at the bottom it said purple body kit available. I'm not sure everyone got to the bottom of the ad. So I quickly went on that and thought I'm going to try and buy that kit, agreed on a price and done it. Now I went back through what happened with these kits and it's quite interesting. So originally 2013 you could buy a P1, but they didn't have any carbon series. So 2016 they made the carbon series cars, and it looks that they made about 20. So a lot of them you see are obviously carbon black. I think they made a carbon blue, and obviously they made this carbon purple, which is, I think it's like a tinted purple with the carbon. And they only made one. I didn't know that actually till afterwards, because it took quite a long time to get the car over. There was problems with ferries, there was just lots of issues, and I didn't want to sort of jinx it, so I didn't really look into it. But then afterwards I found out it is the only one in carbon purple. And what would happen was, in 2016 you had the ability to add this carbon body kit for about $300,000. So you went into McLaren, they took the old body off and replaced it with the carbon one, and then you had your original shell. So it's actually in 5 parts. So it's quite, actually, even though it seemed quite complicated to do, it didn't actually take that long. I think it's sort of 2 or 3 days to actually change it back. And then my original yellow shell is now in the crates at a company called VE. Now they are experts in McLaren, so the actual work was carried out by an ex-P1 engineer, Steve. So I went and saw him, and that was really interesting, because sometimes I was seeing the car and it was half purple, half yellow, and it was just interesting. He was talking me through. When I went to see him, before we even shook hands, he's like, "Richard, look at this," and saw some interesting stuff. Like, I didn't realise in the cabin there's 2 speakers to amplify the induction, and one of mine wasn't working correctly and it was super loud. So when I first took the car out, I thought, crikey, it's the loudest car I've ever been in, and that was why. So he showed me round, and what an amazing car. I mean, if you had said to me you'd have a carbon purple P1, I'd say you're lying, because I never thought I'd actually get a P1. It was always a car that I thought would be out my reach. When they come out, they were probably 900,000, and they had a huge rise, then they dropped off. But now to have the only carbon purple P1 is a massive achievement, and you know, we want to bring it to all our shows next year. And the photos at Bewl were great, but we didn't have any sun, so I'm hoping a nice summer's day next year we'll get amazing photos. So yeah, I'm really excited for that for next year. But again, you know, you've got to have the balls to do this, because it's a big investment. And you see now, like we're selling the 22B and that, where I'm going, because I really wanted that carbon purple. You know, I've had a lot of purple cars before, GT3 RS, STO. I think for me, this is now like my favourite car. I think that, I'm not sure where I go, if I'm honest, because the P1 is a masterpiece, and then you've got the carbon purple, and it's a one of one. So it's fantastic for us, and fantastic for the channel, and Challenge the Road in general. So I think we've got the shows coming up. We're going to run through what we're going to do next year at the shows as well. Make it really interesting for you. Make it so you can have lots of great photos with the cars. Give us more room like we've done, and do more of the sim racing. So the other thing that happened in November, which is just amazing really, I was able to go on Topgear. Wasn't actually me, it was the cars. They were the star of the show. So I took the 22B. You know I love model cars, so I've got them here. So 22B, and I took the Tommy Mackinnon RS. Now I've only got a Tommy Mackinnon model, because obviously I had one before, but obviously I've sold the car. But it was a great time. SCC Supercar Club, they invited me. I had a brilliant couple of days there. I actually stayed there a lot longer, dropped the cars down on the Sunday and went back late Tuesday. So I won't go into too much of what the program is, what happened, but I would just say I had a fantastic time. The cars, especially the Mitsubishi, done exceptionally well. The 22B was there for static photos, just because it's original tyres. It's, you know, one of the best cars in the collection. So that was for static, so you'll see that. And then the Mitsubishi was actually on the track. The pro drivers absolutely loved it. One of them actually had an Evo 6, but you'll see that. That's going to come out in May, so May next year, that'll be on. But for me, it was just like a dream really. Just to be even near those guys, watching Topgear. Very interesting watching the filming, how they do it, how the guys are doing the presenting as well. So I've got lots of clips that I've kept, but I won't release them till after May. But yeah, it was a fantastic time. And another thing of, you know, if I hadn't had the Tommy Mackinnon RS, I wouldn't have been on Topgear and in that area. So some of these cars that we're purchasing are actually giving us a lot of access to a lot of events. And even today I've been invited to some things with the P1 as well for next year, like London Concours, etc. But yeah, it was, as I say, an exceptional time. You've probably seen on Instagram, I don't know if you're following us on Instagram, but we put a lot of posts on there. We've got a lot of reels, so there's bits about it on there as well. But it was a great, great day. So for December vlog, we got the 22B going on collecting cars. How much is it going to make? I don't know. I'm not that happy about selling it, but it will sell and it'll go to a great home, I'm sure. P1, hopefully we're sort of there, almost finished with that car, and we can get it in the garage, get the garage finished as well. We've also got, you know, bits that we're going to be doing on the Mitsubishi. I really want to do a bit more driving, so we're going to go out, drive the RS. I'll compare it against how it is to 22Bs and other cars, but at the moment it is one of my best cars. The 993, we've had the new suspension on that. I thought we might do a bit of a video of 993 CTR Vantage Mitsubishi RS, something like that. So that's what's coming up in December. Please like and subscribe to our channel. We'd love for you to watch more and more of our videos, and we've got more coming soon.